I was shocked and appalled to learn that the majority of Americans support mass deportation. According to a poll by Axios, 54% of Americans, including nearly a quarter of Democrats, approve of mass deportation. I'm going to convince you here today that mass deportation is a bad idea. Everyone in this country would feel the negative effects of it, not only those who would be deported. Mass deportation would be bad for our economy, cause mass hysteria in our country, and is completely immoral and un-American. Our vibrant and diverse culture, paired with being a trusted place of refuge and freedom, is what makes the United States of America so highly regarded throughout the world. Mass deporting our immigrants would be like cutting off our own right hand. The United States employs 7.6 million undocumented immigrants. According to the Center for Migration Studies, top occupations amongst the undocumented labor force includes construction workers, housekeepers, cooks, home health aides, and janitors and building cleaners. Other jobs on this list come from similar industries with concentration in food preparation, delivery, cleaning, care, and service occupations. Imagine losing the people who build our homes, keep our home and workplaces clean, cook our food, plant and harvest our crops, and care for our elderly and disabled people. Who would pick up the slack? These jobs are low paying and high labor. Nobody is clamoring to compete for them. A special report by the American Immigration Council claims that mass deportation would deal a devastating blow to the U.S. economy. Mass deportation would cause our GDP to shrink by around 4.2 to 6.8%. By comparison, the U.S. GDP shrunk by 4.3% during the Great Recession between 2007 and 2009. So it would be much worse than that potentially. The effects would be felt across the country, but most strongly in California, Texas, and Florida. The report estimates that the total cost of a one-time mass deportation would be somewhere around $315 billion for the federal costs of arresting, detaining, processing, and removing them to their country of origin. This cost estimate does not include the cost to replace these workers and the loss of the immigrants as consumers for goods and services being sold in the United States. However, if the mass deportation takes longer than expected and stretched out to a 10-year event, the cost balloons to an estimated $967.9 billion. This is a complete waste of our precious tax dollars, not to mention the hysteria this type of event would cause in our country. Imagine this. It's a Tuesday morning, and while you're getting ready for work, you happen to catch a news headline on your phone. It says, President Trump approves plan for mass deportation. You don't think much of it at the time. You just go on about your morning. But as you pull up to the restaurant you work at, you see ICE agents. They're arresting longtime employees who have worked there for 5, 10, 15, even 30 years. Other employees are running up behind them screaming, "You can't take them! They've done nothing wrong! They've worked here for decades!" But it's no use. Your friends and fellow employees are being loaded into vans, cuffed like criminals. You stare dumbfounded as they drive away, and you remember, these people have families, children that they may never get to see again. They will not get to say goodbye to their wives who are at home caring for their children. Even if they get one call, they will not want to risk calling their wives for fear they will be found and deported too, leaving their children as fosters of the state. Where will they go? They haven't been to their home country for decades. They won't know anyone there. You're supposed to just go into work now like nothing happened? Are you supposed to serve customers without half of your staff? Do we even know these recipes? We have relied on these folks for our kitchen prep, cooking, and cleaning for so long. Will we even be able to stay afloat without them? Across the country, the same scene plays out in construction zones, restaurants, hotels, farms, and nursing homes. What are we going to do now? How are we going to build these roads and homes? Who will cook and clean for us? Who is taking care of grandma at our nursing home? Will our grocery stores even have produce on the shelves? There is chaos all around you, and you have no idea how long it will take to level out and what you should do in the meantime. An event like this is completely immoral and brings to mind our nation's first mass deportation, the Trail of Tears. Do we really want another stain like that in our nation's history books? Haven't we done enough harm to get where we are today when we displaced and killed our country's own native inhabitants? Matthew 25:31-40, Jesus says, "I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of my brothers, you did it to me." Exodus 23:9 says, "Do not oppress a foreigner. You yourselves know how it feels to be foreigners, because you were foreigners in Egypt." 59% of Trump voters consider themselves Christian, according to the Pew Research Center. As Christians, they should consider what Jesus would say about mass deporting millions of hardworking, innocent people who proudly live in our country. The Statue of Liberty has a poem on the bottom called The New Colossus. It was written by Emma Lazarus, an American poet and activist. It says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." It doesn't say, "Send me your rich and white." To limit who we welcome here and send refugees away in droves is highly un-American. Immigrants are a credit to our nation. They bring with them diverse and rich knowledge of culture, a variety of languages, styles, music, and food. We benefit from the flavors they share with us, both literally and figuratively. Mass deporting them would be a discredit to our history. It would cost hundreds of billions of tax dollars, plummet our economy, cause mass hysteria, and it's completely immoral and un-American. I will not stand for it, and I urge you not to stand for it either. Thank you.